Welcome to my mentorship business channel. My name is Oliver Vogelsang, and this video is just about a presentation of what a future video is going to look like, the topics we're going to be covering, and how this channel will be operating, along with my intrinsic motives. So why am I starting this channel? I'm repurposing my channel into this mentorship channel because I want to help people in my generation and younger to understand deeper concepts of life. Life is very some may say it's very complex, and others say it's simple. So to kind of, get a better understanding of why people say, different things, we'll be using a broad range of categories from psychology to personal finance, and learning how to build structure, purpose, and balance as individuals. I also observed that the modern life is full of distractions like social media, lifestyle, and even social norms that can easily pull us away from who we really are. A lot of people, unfortunately, are unaware of who they really are, and I find it very important that structure, purpose, and balance for everybody can kind of help us guide into that right lane, that right path for anybody. And I've unfortunately lived a life without proper structure, guidance, and it was very unpleasant. I'll tell you, I'll be the first one to tell you, my life without proper structure and guidance was very unpleasant. So, through this channel, I like to offer perspective, structure, and mentorship to those who feel lost, because I've been there too. But yeah, I'll expand more on this later in the slides. But what are we learning? We'll explore a wide range of topics designed to help us grow and become the best versions of ourselves, mentally, physically, and spiritually. The subjects we'll be going over are psychology, finance, physical health, etc. But most importantly, critical thinking and real-world analysis are going to be the heavy hitters for this channel. I've learned that rather than just going over just subjects like psychology, finance, there's really it's really hard to take that with you without critical thinking and analysis, being analytical. So this channel, with a heavy emphasis on the thinking and analysis, we're able to practice. There's multiple practices for us to do for future videos. So you'll learn more, I'd say, by executing or applying knowledge more than the subject itself, is my claim. So we'll also be discussing social norms and sensitive topics. The goal isn't to be controversial, but to use it as a tool to reflect, grow, and understand how they shape our lives. One idea that comes to mind is the mention of God. He's a prominent figure in humanity and culture, and we'll be discussing God and how we can implement that concept to help us grow and become the best version of ourselves. So every discussion will be carefully constructed to avoid any biases and encourage an open-minded thinking. Humans are very biased, as creatures. That's what we do. And without diving into psychology, we'll just say it's hard to be open-minded, because with the biases you connected with yourself, if it doesn't go along with it, you'll think something, kind of unfavorably. If you're biased towards something and then someone comes in and say mean things to it, you're gonna feel offended, right? So so that's avoiding biases and encouraging open-minded thinking. I'll be the first one to tell you again that I've learned a lot more being open-minded than closed-minded. I know that is a very basic statement to say, but it really makes a huge difference when you consciously apply yourself to being open-minded. So, going over to the next slide. The structure. How will we learn? So, this mentorship channel is built on 2 core systems of learning: vertical and horizontal integration. It's used in business, but what matters more is about how we can integrate them, right? So vertical integration means learning through the hierarchy of wisdom. So you got learning from the top and then learning from below, you might say. Or you could say what to do, what you can do, what not to do. So, so top examples could be successful entrepreneurs or experienced mentors. One thing I would like to add is elderly people who have lived a long life. They have plenty of wisdom to share, plenty of optimism and lessons that they experienced firsthand, and they're very valuable. So the bottom would be cautionary tales like lottery winners that teach what to avoid. I've heard very unfavorable things about lottery winners, but we'll go over that more in future videos and why. So using these together, these systems create a balanced, well-rounded understanding of every topic we explore. So, borrowing knowledge from each subject relating to the topic, and then the horizontal integration would be how we can apply it. Looking at your surroundings, what you can do about it with the newly attained knowledge. So that's a little bit of intelligent training, I guess. So there's a lot of mentorship, there's a lot of teachers in the community. So what makes me different? Well, I've unfortunately seen plenty of people, especially in my generation, drifting through life without clear direction, or stuck in cycles of overindulgence, distraction, and burnout. To be honest with you guys, I didn't put plenty as in like I have 10 examples. I probably have 2 or 3, but honestly, they are plenty for me to say I do not wish this upon people. So it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous how the lack of guidance can really shoot your life trajectory into unfavorable territories. So I don't see myself as above anyone since I'm on this journey to grow as well. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think the best teachers or mentors are the ones who are also learning with them, you know. So it's not more about just learning from a person like above you, perhaps. It's just more of a collective effort in helping each other, would be the next line right here. This channel is about growing together, learning from my mistakes and others, and sharing what we discover from rewiring our brain. Another supporting line below is that mentorship isn't about superiority, but shared progress. My goal is to create a space where growth, honesty, and curiosity are rewarded. And yes, that is it. It's very hard to grow and be honest and stay curious unless you practice it and it almost becomes natural. And yeah, I don't think I have anything to expand upon that. But comments, closers, and endgame. Let me move this right here. I'm offering the world my observations and lessons in hopes of rewarding those who are curious and ready to grow. I've seen enough. You know, I don't need any more bad examples around me to learn. And this is just sharing my perspective on what we could do in certain scenarios and kind of leverage it to our best to become better. So this is kind of a win-win for both of us, because by me teaching others, it also helps me reinforce my own understanding on the topic. So it could be, if I'm curious on a topic or I get to research and I find it very interesting, I get to make a video of it, and then it's a win-win. You get to learn and I get to retain a little longer. So going back to the mission, it is to help the current and younger generation to find structure, perspective, and practical life wisdom. I believe that anybody who stumbles upon this channel will leave at least one valuable lesson they can carry on for life. So when tapping into this channel, you might not, you might watch a video and just be left with something like, oh, I already knew. But I can assure you that if anybody sticks around, there's always going to be one valuable lesson that you can take for life. And yeah. So my current schedule for moving on would be 1 to 2 lessons per week, with weekly Q&A plus a bonus content. So the 2 lessons are 1. There's really no order on what topics to cover. It's more about my interest on what I think would be a good video for that time. And I think the best part about this channel is that the more you guys follow and watch the videos, those pre-knowledge, will reward you in terms of a more complex topic or niche, dive deep into theoreticals and stuff. So, but don't feel obligated to watch all videos for future. I will always take time, before the video to give you anybody who's new a quick lesson so they understand. For weekly Q&As, I believe the worst thing that could happen for a mentorship or teaching is for the listeners to misinterpret and misuse the attained knowledge. So I don't want to leave the viewers with really open up to interpretation. A weekly Q&A video may strengthen my points, and by narrowing room to kind of interpret, it'll probably be the best for everybody, honestly. Getting closure for anything, I'd say, is pretty good. So yeah, bonus content could be just honestly anything. The idea I have in mind is just setting time aside with my best friend and just talking about his hobbies, which still aligns with the mentorship or learning channel. The topic we're going to be discussing hopefully in the near future is astrophotography. Funny enough, I've never heard of that before, and I've kind of spoke with him pretty frequently about this hobby he's doing, and it's pretty interesting. So we could do the bonus content. Just thinking ahead now, we could do the bonus content, or anybody who's willing to show up to this 30-minute to an hour discussion talking about your favorite hobbies. And the best part about it is that chances are these hobbies are pretty niche, right? And viewers could kind of hopefully viewers are gain a new interest about whatever we're discussing, and then they could try it out themselves. So I think this is going to be a great channel for growth. But I still do have one slide to share. But thank you. If you're ready to grow with me, you already know what to do. This isn't just to teach people how to live, but how to live well. And which kind of goes back to this channel isn't really needed to live. And there's plenty of successful people in the world that don't really have the topics we'll go through in mind when doing stuff. So it's just purely supplemental. But I think my biggest goal for each video is making sure that I respect the viewer's time for learning, and then hopefully they can at least take one lesson from each video and use it in their real world setting. And before I like to end this video, there's always one, there's not always one, but I have a saying I like to leave for each video, and that'd be stay curious. Stay very curious. I've learned the most out of curiosity, and an environment where curiosity would be punished, even for asking dumb questions, that's not allowed. So something I failed to mention, going back to the Q&A, is to feel free to ask any questions. There's a saying that the dumbest questions are the one that you don't ask. And honestly, it's true. It really is true. And for those who get irritated when asked, just don't teach them, right? But I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope you guys are excited for future videos as well. This is a very big step into becoming a better version of myself, and I'm excited to bring anybody who clicks on this video to be the best version of themselves. So yeah, I don't got anything else to say, but bye bye. Also, this was unscripted, by the way, just letting you know.